Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program. We got a little bit more beef on the launch pad for the ship we couldn't get into orbit last time, so I'm going to turn on the computer and I'm going to hit the space bar in 3, 2, 1, launch, and it's already looking better. And yeah, this guy's got a decent thrust to weight, so as soon as we get up to about, say, 50 or so, I'm going to tip it just the slightest, and turn off the computer. Let aerodynamics do the rest. I'm just going to mostly keep it pointing east as opposed to diverting north or south. I did turn off the roll on these guys, so they won't affect how it rolls. But other than that, we're just going to let this thing go. And, okay, actually, we'll just watch here as these things slowly... whoa! Whoa. Okay, goodbye. And we've already got a decent apoapsis. Just using 3 of these things, we're going to get our apoapsis pretty darn high. I'm actually a little bit concerned about the angle we're going, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to cut the throttle. Or actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put the throttle back on the top. Whatever I think our apoapsis is going to be fine. If anything, we're tilted a little bit more than I want to be. We're at 60 degrees. Yeah, we're actually fine. This is perfect. This guy's really responds to the control input, so I'm not going to do too many control inputs with him. But early morning down there, the people are just waking up, getting ready to go to work. Yeah, see, our apoapsis is at 20. I'm actually going to coast this up a little bit until we turn to about here. I just don't want to screw this up. So I think this is fine here as we rotate over, and there we go. And we can take readings, but we're not going to. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah, see, because we lost our aerodynamics-ness. But I think we'll be fine. We're below 30 degrees at 30. And we're not at 30 kilometers, which is disturbing. I'm just riding the top of this circle here, which is the unofficial range of motion for FAR when you're rising through the atmosphere. I think we're doing fine. Mostly, we just need to get our apoapsis high enough that if necessary we can just coast up there. We're already out of the absolute worst of the atmosphere, but we're still kind of in the thickishness part. And as always, we have to worry about this little thing here getting out of range of Kerbal Space Center. But what just happened? This could be bad. We just lost aerodynamic everything. Not the way you want to go to space. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem was. I am just going to not take a break between stages. We're going to... let's get this guy over a little bit, turn off the computer, and then we'll just care about the north-south. I'm going to come back. The first part of this launch should be exactly the same as the last time. I'll come back when this engine's running out, and we'll just pretend that never happened, except for the money we lost. Okay, here we go. We're just going to go for broke here. We are not going to pay attention to the fact that our periapsis is higher than we want it to be in the stock game, because we are not in the stock game. We are in FAR, and all the rules are different in FAR. Yeah, he can't really divert that far from forward, but I'm trying to keep him on the eastern marker here. Yeah, see, this is actually perfect. This is as nice as you can get it. 30 at 30, and I'm happy. I'm so used to stock. I'm using those markers. And I'm even using the 30 at 30 mark, but it seems like when I hit 30 at 30 in in far, I'm pretty happy. So, just doing tiny little corrections to my direction here to keep it inside this circle. But I think we're good. And yeah, pretty soon I can ditch the fairings. I'm going to get up to... I like to be up around 50 when I ditch the fairings. Just to make sure everything goes okay. We're quickly running out of atmosphere. I think maybe I'll try it at 45 this time. Because we are... Well, we're not that far from Kerbal Space Center. But our apoapsis is all the way up to 80. Ditch the fairings. I'm going to hit 1, which brings out the solar panels and the dishes and the antennae. And we're still high. We're still low enough. Let's target Kerbin now. And we shouldn't actually need that, except for the fact that we're going to eventually need it. So that's why I have this here. And we should have enough fuel to mostly circularize our orbit and then still ditch this thing into the atmosphere, which is pretty cool. So now I'm just going to wait until we are out of the atmosphere. Shouldn't take more than 20 seconds or so to circularize, even with the lower engines, but I think I'm going to start burning now. And I'm just watching my periapsis. Oh yeah, this is not going to take very long at all. I'm going to bring my periapsis up to about 60 meters or 60 kilometers. Then we're going to ditch that. And we're going to bring it up to 80. There we go, 79 by 81, and we are in orbit, and we have left our debris to go back into the atmosphere, which is awesome. And now we are ready to just fast forward to Duna, because there's really no reason to do anything else with this ship until we have our Duna window. Okay, we are at the window. We're actually 45 seconds from our maneuver node, so I'm actually going to bump it up in orbit, so it's just next orbit. Now we're 31 minutes from our next orbit. We're actually 2 hours and some odd change, but just making this maneuver node, I got a Duna encounter, which is pretty awesome. That's all I care about at the moment, is getting a Duna encounter. So what we're going to do here is, on the ship, we're going to let the ship do this itself. We're going to say, point yourself at the maneuver node, and then when the time comes, execute that maneuver node. And what he's going to do here is he's going to do that. He's pointed at the maneuver node now, or he's working on it. And then he's going to execute it. Now, ideally, we will not run out of power. I put 8 batteries on this guy. If all else fails, I can turn this off, and I think I'm going to. Going to deactivate this antenna, leaving this one on. We can actually watch here what happens to his power as he goes around the other side. Power's going down, not going down very fast, which is good. So, oh yeah, he can easily make it through an entire Kerbin night with this dish off. Okay, we are now... we're 2 minutes from there, but we're a minute and a half from starting the burn, because it is calculated that that's when it needs to start the burn, which is fine by me. He's not actually turning towards the prograde, which is kind of crazy as far as I'm concerned. I thought that he would be closer to that, but maybe I'm just going to let it do what it wants, because I don't know any better. And here we go. Actually, looks like we're doing the burn in the sunlight anyway, so I didn't need to worry about the dish or anything like that. But there we go. He's doing his burn. Okay, the burn is getting close to being done. We are burning outward. We've got 100 meters per second to go. And we're going to start seeing our orbit come up here. And how close is he going to be? Just a little bit shy. I'm going to kill the maneuver node. Yeah, this we can fix. We can fix. We're going to arrive early. So we actually want to go speed up. And there we go. Okay, that's all I care about is getting an encounter. Okay, success in the first thing. Maybe not perfectly, but not perfect success, but good enough success. Now we're going to point this at Kerbin. It's already pointed, so we're going to activate it. Which chews through the energy, but we don't really care that much anymore, because by the time we need to tell him what to do, it's going to be... it's going to be... By the time we need to tell him what to do, we're gonna have sunlight on the dishes. So we're gonna focus view on Duna. Let's see what our encounter looks like. All we want now, we want a flyby of Duna that ideally gets a close encounter with both Duna and Ike. That's our goal. That's plan A. So we are going to normal ourselves upwards to get into Duna's plane. Then we're going to do a little bit of radial. We're going to normal... Actually, we're going to normal down a tiny little bit. And then radial... Come on, Ike, where are you? And if we prograde... Yeah, see, Ike is going to be way over there when we get to it, which is a problem. Unless we can swing around Duna... No, that's not going to work. We might not be able to hit Ike. Unless we arrow brake at Duna. There's really no reason why we can't arrow brake at Duna. Because if we know Ike's going to be around here, if we arrow brake at Duna, we could hit Ike over there. But we need to come up a little bit. No, we need to go down a little bit. That's roughly the burn we want. And then we can figure out how to get to Ike after that. We have 752 meters per second. This is an 8 meter per second burn. So let's go ahead. We don't really have anything else to do though. Yeah, we don't need this window anymore. Yeah, we're gonna leave the sphere of influence. Then we're gonna actually launch a Moho ship. There we go. We've got power. This bothers me a little bit. Now it's bothering me more. Why don't we have connectivity to Kerbal Space Center after I activated that dish? We're going to go out, say, 15 days. Now do we have a connection to Kerbin? The answer is no. We also don't see a cone like we're supposed to see. Okay, I'm going to go to the forums and try to find out what I'm doing wrong, or what the game is doing wrong. I don't know what these icons mean, but they're apparently part of RemoteTech. Okay, I figured it out. Or really, I got schooled by the people in the forums, because the forums are awesome. This line here that you get when you click this and it turns into an X or a planet is my cone. It's just the cone of this thing is so... tiny. Let me show you how tiny the cone is on this. And look, there's a cone on this guy too. This guy has his cone, but and this is the distance the cone goes. So he obviously doesn't have any connectivity to Kerbal Space Center, although he's still pointed at Kerbin. This guy here, if we focus view on Kerbin though, if you look here, the cone actually extends out. And it does cover this. Now, if we fast forward a little bit, so that our satellite here comes within the cone, and we hit F2, we have connectivity, which is awesome. We also have a node already set up, so I can now tell this guy, point yourself at the node, and when the time comes, execute the node. Now, I don't need to worry about connectivity, because he's just going to do this maneuver node in 86 days. And the reason it doesn't work on these guys is because they have smaller dishes. This guy has the big dish that can get out there. So, now watch, if we fast forward time, you'll watch slowly as the cone vanishes, because I think at too high of time warp, the cone goes away. I've noticed that before with the lines, but You'll notice that the cone is slowly getting bigger and bigger. Let me go up to like 50 days before. See, the cone is bigger. Let's go up to like 10 days before. See, now the cone actually it encompasses the entire planet. And we're just only getting at maybe, what do you think that is, about 50% coverage or so? Oh, and I guess that's not the extent of the cone. I guess it's the extent of the cone or the planet you're aimed at. But we are a mere 4 days from our maneuver nodes. Let's go ahead and just zip up time right to it. Go back to our ship, which is ready to go here. In 3 minutes, it's going to do this 8-second burn. If we look here, we can't tell it to do anything because it's not in our control. But it's already in 2 minutes and 48 seconds going to do this burn. There we go. Boom! It is done. We still can't control it. But ideally, we now have either a connection with Duna, or, well, we're very close to a connection with Duna. But our descending node is basically 0. So we can drop another maneuver node here 3 days from now. And let's see, slow down a little bit. No, looks like we need to speed up a little bit. There we go. There's our connection with Duna. Now let's see if we can fiddle and get a good Ike connection. It looks like we already have one. Yeah, we're coming in from this side, and we're passing really close to Ike already. Let me bring up precise node again. That's the letter P, by the way, to hide precise node if you if you want that. You know, we don't really need Kerbal Engineer. Show Engineer. There we go. This guy doesn't really need Kerbal Engineer. Let's see. It's a tiny little burn. 3 meters per second. Actually, it's basically it. 3 meters per second. Yeah, 0.1 meter per second makes the difference. See, that's going to get us... I want to get closer to Ike than that, though. Like, say, yeah, 5,000 off, and then that should be close to Duna. I'm going to actually back up 1 here. I don't know what close to Ike is, but I think 5,000 meters is probably too much. We can fiddle, though, when we have control. So, aim at your maneuver node. Execute that maneuver node. Oh, wait, we can't tell him to do that. We have to wait until we have control over him at some point here. So now we can say, aim yourself at the node, and then when the time comes, execute the node. I'm not sure what this signal delay means here. Yeah, because I've turned signal delay off, but at least I thought I did. Maybe it got turned back on. I was actually thinking about turning it back on anyway, so maybe I did without remembering it. So I can't actually control the ship in real time, but that's fine. I was going to do everything with maneuver nodes anyway, and as you get the really small maneuver nodes, you should be fine. So, okay, let's speed up time here. And we've got a good connection. You can tell because our orbit is going wonky. So, now let's focus on Duna and see what that did for us. We've got a really close encounter with Ike, which is perfect. And then that gives us a really close encounter with Duna, which is also perfect. But yeah, we do want to slow down if we want to get into orbit. We don't even need to get into orbit. We just want a low periapsis. But that's only 491 meters per second. And we've got it. So I think we should get into orbit. And then we'll ceremoniously dump this guy into the atmosphere when we're done with him, which will be fun. So, here's the deal. He is ready to go. I think. Yeah, let's see, the next thing to happen though is the Kerbin to Moho window in 177 days. So we're gonna need to launch that guy. And I think this is enough for an episode. I think we've done well. So next episode I'm gonna launch the Moho ship, which is actually just gonna be a smaller version of this ship, because all it can do is high over Moho and low over Moho science. There's no way I'm landing on Moho, especially if I've turned on time delay. So I wish somewhere on here it told me what the time delay was. I mean, if I do this, it tells me I can't talk to the ship. Okay, now we have time delay. If I say aim at the node... Yeah, time delay is 30 seconds already. And it might be significantly higher than that when the time comes. Because by the time we get out to Duna, Kerbin could be way over here. Because we're slowing down as time goes on. So I honestly don't know what that's going to entail. You know, exactly what's going to happen as far as that's concerned. If all else fails, just things fail. That's the way things work. It took humans a lot of tries to get to to get to Mars. We failed a lot of times, so failure is definitely an option. I'm just going to say execute this maneuver node here, just so that it works, and then aim at the node. There we go. And I think, though, when I leave this ship, the flight computer status fails. Like, it stops aiming at the thing I tell it to aim at. And obviously, that's really weird. I don't know what it's doing. Anyway, I don't really care. I'm just happy that everything seems to be working. So, next episode, we'll launch our Moho ship. I might not even show it to you. Probably will, though. And then our Duna Ike flyby, just a few days later, is going to enter the sphere of influence so we can start doing science. So I'm excited about that. I hope you enjoy watching this. I definitely enjoy playing it. I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.